welcome back, you beautiful fucks. It's me, Danny. Thank you for joining me at the Duel of Fates today because it's a special occasion. We are going to witness a battle. We are comparing, not Haya, not SH Monster Arts. We are going to compare Playmates versus Bandai, specifically the Movie Monster series, for their Monsterverse lines of figures. Why? Because I thought it'd be fun. And I consider them to be the two cheapest companies when it comes to 6-inch figures. Although Bandai also does Monster Arts, which is not the cheapest company when it comes to 6-inch figures. In fact, it's probably the most expensive. But I digress. And actually, let me say this, just a disclaimer to get this out of the way. The price point, because I do know Playmates, they cost about $10 per figure, which is great for what they are. And the Movie Monster series typically cost usually about $25 to $30 a figure, maybe even more depending on the figure. I'm going to say this right now just to get out of the way. That price point does not bother me most of the time. So I'm not going to be bringing it up anymore throughout the rest of this video. Going forward, how this is going to work, I am just going to have two figures of the same Titan from both companies. We're going to have pictures on the screen to compare them, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts on which one I think is better. I just thought it'd be fun, okay? Instead of doing the whole video essay of like why company A is better than company B. Like, I figured let's just look at their figures. Well, let's go case by case, figure by figure. All right, let's have some fun. This beat is sick. Let me know what you think about some of these figures down in the description below, because I would love to hear your opinion. If you agree, if you disagree, let me know. All right, they're just toys. We're having fun here. All right, you're allowed to love what you want, as I always say. So let's just jump into round one. And round one, the big man himself, Godzilla Evolved. On the left, we have Bandai, the Movie Monster series. On the right, we have Playmates. That is how it's going to be for the remainder of the video. Bandai on the left, Playmates on the right. So looking at the Bandai. Oh, side note also, if you see an asterisk, that is because whatever figure it's above, that is the figure that I actually do not have. Now, before you jump on me, if I do not have the figure for this video, I did enough research, I looked at pictures, enough videos to form somewhat of an opinion. And I just want to make it clear that if you see that symbol, though, I do not have that figure. Most of these figures I do have, though. But there's a few that I want to make it clear. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about these figures. With the movie Monster series, we have a figure that has a little bit more detail than the Playmates. Is definitely more film accurate, especially with the colors, and maybe even the proportions to an extent. Then you look at the Playmates, we have something that's completely not film accurate when it comes to colors, because Godzilla was never blue, and his dorsal plates were not red. But I do like the translucent fins, dorsal plates, and that it comes with a beam effect. And also just the shape of the dorsal plates on the Playmates looks better in my opinion. But Playmates also suffers from paint. Not only is the paint not accurate, but the paint for the eyes is just terrible. But Playmates is kind of known for that when it comes to their Godzilla eyes. So, with that being said, looking at both of these, you have Playmates that comes with accessories for their figures, which is really nice, but it typically does have that cheap toy look. And then you have the Bandai one that is definitely more film accurate, but has no accessories and less articulation than a Playmates figure. I think I still am going to go give this round to the Bandai Movie Monster series, Godzilla Evolved. I am just a sucker for the way it looks, again, with the film accuracy, the paint, the dark gray and the pink, compared to what Playmates was going for. Although the Playmates figure has some attributes I do like the dorsal plates being translucent and bigger, and the beam effect. I just prefer the Movie Monster series version of it. So round one goes to Bandai. Round 2, we have 2019 Godzilla, regular Godzilla. Same deal here, okay? We have a more film accurate Godzilla on the left here from Bandai, with the dorsal plates being blue, as if he's about to charge up. Then you have the Playmates Godzilla, which also has the translucent blue dorsal plates, again charging up, and comes with the beam effect. This figure is also pretty film accurate, I'll give it that. Again, it still suffers from the really bad eye paint. I do have both of these figures. I think for this round, I'm going to give it to Playmates. And it's because the dorsal plates, translucent, I really like those. It's film accurate with the colors, and it has that really cool beam effect. And I like this beam effect more than the Godzilla Evolved beam effect. So this round, I'm giving it to Playmates. The Bandai's not bad. It's just one thing I don't like about the dorsal plates on the Bandai one is that like most of the dorsal plates are blue. They're colored blue, but like the edges of them are black. And for some reason, part of me feels like that just kind of throws it off, in my opinion. Whereas the Playmates one, the entire dorsal plate is blue and translucent. I really like that, so I just prefer that. So round 2 goes to Playmates. Round 3, we got Fuzzy Boots himself, Kong. On the left here, Bandai with their Movie Monster series Kong, which I think is the first time Kong has ever been in the Movie Monster series. I know Bandai did do a Kong figure way back in the day for King Kong vs. Godzilla, but that was way before the Movie Monster series. Then we have on the right here the Playmates Kong. So I'm gonna say the Bandai one. Let me know what you guys think. I personally don't find it that film accurate, especially with the head. Maybe it's just because he's roaring and that stands it. It's not terribly off. This is more of a nitpick. Excuse me, but something about it's just not in the face. It's just not as film accurate. Now the Playmates is also not perfect, but maybe either on par or just slightly better. Again, that's how I view it. Again, I have both these figures, and that's how I looked at it. If you disagree, let me know. This round, I'm going to give it to Playmates again, because the articulation on Kong I really like. Now, obviously, Bandai, I know it's limited, and usually doesn't bother me too much, but I think it's definitely a much bigger bonus on this Kong figure. But also, what's more important than that is it comes with the battle axe, which is a crucial part of Kong in the movie. So that's definitely a plus. I know Bandai did like a special edition of the Kong figure that came with like a DVD set that has the battle axe. I think it's molded into his hand. I would still prefer the Playmates one where you can take the axe out if you want. So this round again, Playmates. So I don't know. I think it's 2-1 right now. You'll see it on screen. I'll do the tally later. Round 4. Kong again, but this one from the newest movie, The New Empire. On the left, we have Beast Glove Kong, which appears to be the same exact mold. I do not have this figure yet, as you can tell. But I do have the figure that the mold is pretty much based off of, and from what I see online, there's just some slight differences with some of the mold. Obviously, the Beast Glove being one of them, and the paint is also very similar. I do like the fur texturing and paint that Bandai did for this figure. However, if we look over at the Playmates one, again, this is a Kong with the Beast Glove. I almost said, however, it's the same mold. That would be incorrect, because Playmates actually went ahead and made a brand new mold that is much more textured and detailed compared to their previous Kong from the previous movie. This one, I would also say, is even more film accurate, maybe even a little bit more film accurate than the Kong on the left. And it comes with a heave, which is really nice too. It's not as important as like the battle axe from the previous figure, but still a nice added addition. I'm giving this round to Playmates again. 1 for the articulation, and 2, they definitely stepped up their game with this mold, and I really like what they did. The Bandai one, it's not bad, but Playmates, I feel like, definitely hit it out of the park with their figure, and I just prefer that one over the Bandai one. So another round of Playmates. Playmates right now winning. Let's see if they keep it up. So again, if you disagree with me, let me know. Maybe you like the Bandai ones more. All right, speak up. Let me know. Round, what is this? 5? Yes, round 5. MechaGodzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong. Okay, so I have both these figures. I really like the paint on the MechaGodzilla from Bandai. It's a bit more silver, whereas Playmates, shiny silver, glossy silver, I guess. Maybe not glossy, just more metallic. Compared to Playmates, which are very dull gray. But I do like the red on it. So, Playmates does have more articulation. Like the mouth can move, bend them at the knees. But I've noticed sometimes it's kind of hard to get him to stand up in certain positions. I just feel like he's very top heavy. I think I'm going to give this round to Bandai. Because when I was looking at both these figures, again, I just really like the paint. As much as I love the color red, it's more subtle on the Bandai one, which I think is, it just looks a bit cleaner and not as toyish, whereas the Playmates one definitely looks like the cheaper toy. It's not a bad MechaGodzilla that Playmates did. I just think, again, using the term hit it out of the park, I think Bandai hit it out of the park. I said term. I should say phrase. Okay, term is just one word. I said a few words, so it's a whole phrase. That's enough of me being a stupid for a minute. But yes, this round I'm giving the Bandai. So let me retrack here. Okay, for round 1 was Bandai. So it's 2-3 right now. 2-3. Let's see what happens next. In round 6, Godzilla 2014. I'm just gonna say it off the bat. This is going to Bandai. It's 3-3 right now. It's going to Bandai for this round. Obviously, Bandai, it's more film accurate. It's a very nice looking figure. I love the paint on it too. Playmates, I appreciate what they were trying to do. If you know me, I'm not a big fan of figures that are in very forced stances. I like figures that are a bit more neutral. They can have a little bit of give to them, but this is with his head cocked all the way to the side, almost looking back. I'm just not a fan of that. His tail just being all like the way it curves up doesn't look that good to me. And I thought it was cool how they're going for like the city destruction, so they have like orange, like as if like burning fire is glowing onto him. And it goes with the tank, which is cool. He also just looks really chunky. Like, look at that leg. Look at his thigh. It's just really fat. I would have loved to see Playmates try this figure again. Maybe fix up the proportions just a little bit, like slim him down a bit, and have him in a more neutral pose like they did with the 2019. They could have done something really cool that I really would have been into. But in the end here, I just prefer the Bandai Movie Monster Series version. So this round goes to Bandai. So right now it's tied 3-3. 3-3. Let's keep it going. This is round, where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Round 7, which is Mothra. Obviously, I do not have the 6-inch Playmates Mothra because barely anyone has it. It got revealed, but I don't think it was supposed to get revealed so soon. Well, it wasn't officially revealed. Some people just found it. So we're still waiting on that. However, there has been some info, and some people have seen it, like in Singapore, I believe, is where people have found it, and have put out some photos of it. And then obviously on the left, you have the the iconic, if you will, Bandai Movie Monster Series Mothra of 2019. Obviously, I know the Mothra on the right from Playmates is from the newer movie, but let's be honest, they're pretty much the same. So I thought it'd be fine just to compare them. This round, even though I don't have it in hand, I'm giving it to Playmates. The detail just looks nicer. I know it's probably like a sticker that's put on there instead of actual paint, but it looks nicer and it's articulated, and it comes with Gia, so that's nice. But yeah, this round, even though I don't have, I'm confident I can say this is going to go to Playmates. They have a better Mothra, so it's 3-4 now. Playmates taking back the lead, but will they have it? Let's see what's next. Ghidorah 2019. This might be a hard one, not gonna lie. So the Bandai one, I love it. I do really love Bandai's movie monster series, Ghidorah, because it's a big figure, and 2019 Ghidorah is big. So I love when, like, it's still not like towering over some of the other figures that it should be towering over, but it's like with the wingspan and everything, like it's just, they did a good job. Playmates though did also a pretty good job with theirs. Again, for the price point, they did good. I know I said I was going to mention price, but I slipped up. There it is. But they did do a solid figure. I love that. Again, we're talking about having neutral poses, but can have slight give to them. Look at the heads. All right, they're looking straight, looking forward, but there's some, like, you know, the ones on the left and right are kind of curving a bit to the sides. I like that. Adds some character to it compared to the Bandai one on the left, which is also still not bad, but it's just hard. I just seen this Ghidorah too. I was at Target earlier and I seen it. They had one left. Damn, I really don't know. Let me take a sip of my Diet Coke here. Maybe it'll fuel my opinion. Excuse me. Whew. This is really hard. I love both these figures. I really do. I'm leaning towards Playmates on this one. I honestly am. So, I think I'm going to do that, but I guess it depends on the day, on the hour, you know, if it's a full moon or not. That's all going to affect my opinion. They're both great figures, but I'll give this one to Playmates. It's just nicer. I won't say nicer. It's just a really nice figure. I really like it. So Playmates really taking the lead here. Let's see what happens. Round 9. We have Shimo. Big asterisk here. Asterisk. Sorry. However you pronounce that. I mispronounce words all the time. This figure is obviously not even out yet. Now, I did as much info as I could. And looked at enough pictures as I could to try to have somewhat of an opinion. So obviously, again, can't give the greatest, most secure thoughts since I don't have it in hand and no one really does. But there's enough pictures out there that we can still have fun and just talk about it and compare it. And when it comes to Shimo, yes, Playmates has the ice breath and the articulation, but just looking at those pictures, if it truly comes out like that, I'm going to go with Bandai on this one, because the detail and the paint just look really good. Scaling's about the same, but I really love how the details and like the texture on like her legs and on her head, where you can see like the scaliness. I love that compared to Playmates, where it just looks so cheap, which obviously it is, but you know, I don't want to harp on Playmates too much about that. But the Bandai one definitely takes the cake. Obviously, again, don't want to talk about price, but this one ain't in that $30 range. This one's the Bandai Premium. So you pay for that Bandai Premium price. Hurts the wallet a bit, but if we're just looking at the figures, I'm giving this to Bandai. So, we have one more round left. Will Bandai be able to tie? I honestly don't know because I haven't really formed any of these opinions yet. Or is it just going to go to Playmates? And they're going to win by 2 if I'm doing all the math right in my head. We'll see. Last one. Here we go. Final round. The Skar King. The Red Ape himself. Which one do I think is better? Playmates on the right, Bandai on the left. So again, I don't have this figure. No one does. The Bandai one, at least. It has really good detail. I'll give it that. Especially with the fur. The paint's not bad either. Judging by these images, obviously. Scaling looks okay. You know, from what it says there. I'm kind of holding back because the truth is I think this is going to go to Playmates. Because articulation and the whip is removable. And he can hold it in his hand. The Skar King Bandai Movie Monster Series does not appear to have a removable whip. Not that I know of. And if I'm wrong for some reason, tell me. Or I'll find out later when this figure releases. I do have it pre-ordered. But I think this is going to go to Playmates. They have a better Skar King figure, in my opinion. Despite how cartoonish the face may look. And the paint. But it's just the posability and the removability of the whip to be used as an accessory. Ladies and gentlemen, my opinion has been formed for all these figures. Tallying them all up, you would see that I seem to appreciate or lean more towards Playmates more than Bandai. Now, obviously, I love both companies. I love both lines of toys. I collect both of them. But for this fun little video, it appears that I do prefer most of the Playmate stuff in terms of the Monsterverse. Alright? Playmates has done some other things out there that Bandai has also done that we could talk about in a second video. But for now, judging by the Monsterverse lines of figures, my heart leans more towards Playmates. Bandai, you put out some good stuff. You put out some great stuff sometimes too. But looks like I'm leaning more towards Playmates. I hope I did this all right. Because I didn't have... Again, this is all on the fly. I didn't do the math on screen or on my head. So it'd be kind of embarrassing if I actually did it wrong and Bandai actually won out. I'm pretty sure it was Playmates. So... But yeah... Again, guys, let me know what you guys think about each of these figures. Which ones do you think you love more? Which company do you love more? Which one do you buy more? Whatever it may be. Let me know down below. I would love to know what you guys think. But that's all for today. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all take care. And I'll see you all next time.